Pezik here, and welcome to the latest episode of the Lisa Pezik Show. Now, in this episode, I want to talk about technology, where people get tripped up, and why it's so important that as an entrepreneur, you make an investment in your business. And when I say investment, I don't always mean money, because that's the first thing that comes to people's mind when I say you've got to invest. You think, oh, here we go. I got to be spending boatloads of money. You know, a lot of entrepreneurs or people just say unhelpful things like, you got to make money, you got to spend money, you got to spend money to make money. And some of that is true. But I think we also have to invest back into our business at the rate that we grow. And the last 3 years is when I've started to really invest in the production quality of my courses and my podcasts, investing in high-level masterminds, going on speaking engagements and trips. And I didn't start my business that way. I didn't start with fancy websites and funnels and all of this. And I think we're looking for someone else to show us the way, or someone else to tell us what we should invest, when we should invest, what our next move should be, what we should do next. And we forget that we as the entrepreneur have that internal compass that guides what's right for us in our business. And it all starts with clarity. So the first thing you have to invest in your business is time to plan. Time to sit down and think 5, 10, 15 years from now, what do I want my life to look like? And am I creating a business that allows that? So many entrepreneurs are trading hours for dollars. What happens if you get sick? What happens if a family member gets sick? You know, we never want to think about that, yet we plan for it in our personal life. Like we've got savings, and I know we have life insurance, and we've got savings for, my husband has savings, RRSPs. I have RRSPs. That's what they call them in Canada. We've both got tax-free savings plan. We're saving for Oliver's college fund. Like we save so much money a month towards our future, in addition to building our business and the plan that we have there. But we're quick to understand that we need it for our personal life, but it's no different for your business. If you want to be living on a beach 10 years from now, well, you better be making passive income. You better not have only in-person gigs and in-person things, and you've got to start building that now. So the first thing I want you to invest is time, clarity, figuring out what you're building, why you're building it, and where you're going from there. Now, I just came back from Texas. I was there this past weekend at a speaking engagement, and it was amazing. Texas people are so kind. And it was like I was in church on Sunday, but not the Catholic church that I know of. It was like I was in a soulful church, because I was speaking and I was telling people 3 steps to build your business, how to take it online, what you need to do. I was sharing stories, and they were like, amen. That's right. All right. Yes, ma'am. Amen. And it was just, the energy in that room was just incredible. Not that you need that validation, but when you feel that connection to people, that your stories and your teachings are making a change in their brain and hitting home. And I have a lot of follow-up to do with a lot of solid contacts that I made. And what I've realized is that a lot of these women that I was speaking to are in transition, meaning they have a business and they're doing something, but it's not their soulful work. It's not that work that makes them jump out of bed in the morning and go, amen, that's right, I'm doing my thing, I feel good about it. They have product-based businesses. It's just, or they only make money when they're in person coaching or teaching. And they're realizing that there's a bigger and a better way that they can serve. And Texas is very soulful, very spiritual, very faith-based. And the message I kept hearing over and over again is God's pushing me to do this, or God's leading me this way. God has a plan. This is God's plan. I got to follow it. And whether you believe in God or not, or whether you're spiritual or not, we're all spiritual humans on some level. That intuition and that inner gut feeling, that is your spirituality. So build the business and set the goals that matter to you, not what someone else is telling you that you should do. So you got to invest the time to sit and plan. I love going on these 4 or 5 hour flights. Yeah, they're long. Yeah, they're tiring. But I just have so much time to sit there and write and journal and plan and think. You're so busy sometimes working your business, or if you've still got a 9 to 5 and you got family and you're doing shift work and, the whole bit, and you have your business, you really are pressed for time because you're working your business. You're so busy working it and delivering the goods that you don't have time to sit and plan. So Sunday reflection is so important to me. Take some time on a Sunday to think about, do you like what you're doing? Right? Not do you like it because it's making you money? Do you enjoy the work that you do? Do you look forward to your coaching calls? Do you put out regular content that people know exactly who you are and how you can help them? Are you showing up and you're visible because you truly love what you're doing? So invest that time. Number 2, this is where you need to decide now, when it comes to the technology, are you going to invest time or are you going to invest money? Technology, when I talk about that, I mean your social media, your email campaigns, your email autoresponders, your website, your funnels, your courses, your group coaching programs, having those easily accessible. I call that your gold. That's all your gold. You're putting that in that display case so that people can see it. Because I find the technology is where everybody gets tripped up. They've been trying to do it, or they have it. They literally have this gold and nobody knows that it's there because they just can't figure out the technology. And if you weren't raised or you didn't study in a technology kind of era, you're not going to know. I don't know how to code a website. I don't know how to create a funnel. I do now because my husband does it. So I've been kind of poking around and learning. But if I didn't have my husband when I started a business, I would have to invest in someone to help me, or I would have to figure it out myself. So if tech doesn't scare you, if you think that that is your zone of genius, meaning, or literally you are broke, you literally don't have a penny to invest, then yes, you got to play the long game and realize that you got to do it yourself and you got to invest the time, meaning you got to Google videos, you got to YouTube stuff, you got to get on help support with Kajabi or ClickFunnels or Teachable or your website people or whatever you got going on. You need to figure that out, and that is going to take time. So again, you've got to invest more time into that. And that could be just block time. It doesn't have to be hours and hours and hours on end. It just means if you only have an hour a day to kind of figure it out, it's going to take you 3, 6, 9, 12 months to get something online up and going. I was talking to a woman at a different conference, and she said, I launched my first online course, and oh my God, was it hard. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, it took me a year. I'm like, really? Because I think my husband and I, when we do it together for people, 2 months, we can have people up and running. She could have been monetizing that sucker for 10 months. But if she was at the spot where she had to invest the time and do it herself, then it took her a year. Hey, she launched it. That's the most amazing part, is that you got the gold, you put it in the display case, and now you're sharing it with others so they can shine. You launch that sucker. So I'm celebrating her. But for some people, they can't wait a year to monetize and make money. Sometimes I think when you are broke is when you need to hire mentors and people. You need to figure it out. You need to do payment plans, because that's what's going to get you, someone like my husband and I, that's what's going to get you that deliverable and that end result. So you either got to invest time or you got to invest money. And when I say invest money, I struggle with a lot of times what I see people investing in. You know, sometimes people say to me, it's kind of funny. They say, Lisa, you're very masculine. I am. I will admit that. I'm very system-based. Let's see the outcomes, the deliverables. Let's test, let's tweak. When you invest with my husband and I, you have physical products. Like you can see, I invested X amount, but here's what I got. I got this product, program, service, website, funnel, course, whatever you got, right? Ebook, book, solid speech, strategy, so that I know what my next right step is. So I am some feminine, because exactly what I said in A, you either have to invest the time and the clarity to know where you want to go and what you want to do, or again, you invest the money, someone like me with a strategist that can help you and guide you and say, oh, I don't think that's the right path. You may want to take that, but here's the pros and cons of that. When we deep dive together with strategy. And it's like, if you want to build that why, what do you want that product to do for you? How do you want to position that product? Is that product going to be easily digestible? Is that the right product for your people where you're positioning it? But the feminine is very, very much soulful, intuitive, heart-centered, which is great and you need it. But I have some people that say, you know, Lisa, I invested like $5,000 with this mentor, and I now know who I am and what I want to do, but I'm broke. Like I spent the last year with them, and I don't think that's good either, because a mentor of mine, Brenda Burchard, who I studied under, he says, if you can't make the money or you aren't making the money, you can't support the message. So there needs to be that balance between the masculine and the feminine. So whether you're going to invest in someone to help you with that clarity, or you're going to deep dive the time, you got to decide. When it comes to the technology, you're going to invest the time to figure it out yourself, or you're going to invest the money in someone like Eric and I that take you from start to finish and get you up and running a lot faster than you ever would on your own. And sometimes people make it look easy. They make it look like you just click, and off you go. But when you start getting into campaigns, you want to do things called split testing, meaning you want to test A versus B and see what people like. You got to be looking at analytics. How many people looked at this? What is your demographic? I know when I first started, I thought I wanted to help just women, like mompreneurs, women in business. And then I started looking at who was actually watching my videos and tuning in and then buying my products and programs. It was men, which was so ironic. So I thought, well, I better stop targeting women only in my ads and everything that I've got going on, and stop speaking at women only groups, because I am attracting a male demographic as well. Now, it still is probably 70-30, 70% women, 30% men. But that was a good aha for me to be able to see that when I saw it was men that were tuning in my videos, and then I started marketing more to men, and I started getting more men on my webinars and things, and then men bought my products. I was like, okay. So sometimes the technology is in the follow-up and the analytics, not just the actual deliverable of website or funnel, or course and all of that. And the other piece of that, investing in money, is so many people have something, and then the age-old question is now, what do I do with it? So I've got this course, how do I market it? What's the lead generation? What's the warm lead organic stuff you could do versus the cold lead stuff that you can do? How are people finding this course? How do they know about it? So there's just so many layers that you either have to start investing the time to figure it out or the money to hire someone like Eric and I, or another maybe mentor that you know, if you jive better with someone else. But again, I want to know, what's their success? What are they doing for you? Right? Because for me, I tried to do everything in the beginning on my own. And then I realized that my zone of genius is this: coaching, teaching, showing up, strategy. I don't want to spend 10 hours figuring out the tech. I'd rather be hopping on strategy calls with people or getting to know you calls with people. That's my prime place that I should be spending my time. So take that one layer deeper and start to think about, what is that zone of genius for you? Like, what is it in your business that only you can do? I can only shoot this podcast, but I have an assistant that edits it and uploads it and gets it where it needs to go. I write the show notes because it's my content, it's my intellectual property, but she takes the time to actually upload it and get it up there. I'd rather, that 30 minutes it takes for her to do that, I'd rather shoot another video and connect with people deeper on that level, or be on someone else's podcast or whatever it is. So what is the zone of genius that only you can own in your business? And it's probably content. Now, do you actually have to post your social media posts? No, you can have an assistant do that. Your podcasts, your live videos, uploading your blogs or your newsletters. I mean, it's so unique to you and your business. Maybe it's email outreach. You provide the emails, but an assistant does it for you. Start thinking about the ways that you can take time back in your business to do the things that are necessary to move your goals and your life along. Remember that 10, 20, 30-year plan. Now is when you've got to start building what you want that to look like. My husband and I, we've got projected what we want the next 10, where we want to be a decade from now. And it looks pretty darn good. And those are the things, that vision, and I'm talking like feet in the sand, champagne in hand, just spending time with kids, and like, we just have the sights and the smells and the feels just so vivid that on the days when it's hard, we go back to that vision and that plan, and we think we're busting our booty now. We'll always bust our booty because that's just the kind of people that we are, but it's going to look different 10, 20, 30 years from now. Quote unquote retirement, if you ever retire. I think as an entrepreneur, if you love what you do, you don't want to retire. You know, our retirement's going to look very different than some of our peers or our own parents or people that just didn't think it through and didn't take the action and the steps to get where they want. You know, it's like life doesn't just happen, in the sense that doors don't just open for people. You set the plan in place and you decide what doors are going to open. When you set the plan in place, yes, then those doors do open. Those opportunities do come, but it comes from you taking action first. So whether that action is investing time or that action is investing money, that's what you got to decide. That clarity, that zone of genius, a technology that trips everybody up, what you gonna do. Because if you don't do anything, guess what? You're not going to get anything. You're not going to have anything. You're not going to make that income. You're not going to make that impact that you so desperately want, that connection that we all crave, that authority and that positioning to say, yes, I need you. That comes from investing that time or investing that money. So if you're at the part where you're like, my zone of genius is not technology, my zone of genius is not putting all the pieces together. I've got the pieces, but I don't know how to put them together to create something to sell or what that should look like. That's why you should hop on that 15-minute complete, you own it, brainstorm session. You can walk away with everything hubby and I, Eric, tell you, and you get to decide what you want to do with that. But it's a clarity building session. It's an implementation how-to session. And we get right in, we get right to the point in 15 minutes because we got things to do, right? We got impact and income to make. So let's get in and bust that roadblock together. www.lisapezik.com. At the bottom of every page, it's there, it's visible. Book in that 15-minute call and let's go from there. All right, guys, I'll see you again next time on the Lisa Pezik Show.